How's it going, guys? I am Dave from the Kodo, back with another tutorial for you. Today I'm going to show you some big reactors. We're going to start off with the smallest possible reactor that you can make, and then move on to a little bit bigger ones, a little bit more manageable for some early game. In future videos we'll go into some more complex, but let's jump right into it here. As you can see, I've been experimenting with some sizes here. This one right here I'm going to show you how to make is the smallest one that you can make from big reactors. Now this is going to create RF power, which will fill up your energy cells or power your machines. A couple of things that we're going to need is reactor casing. This is what the shell of the casing, or the frame of the reactor will be made out of. You use graphite bar, iron, and in the middle you can use the yelloworium ingots. Graphite bars are just cooked coal. Yelloworium is made from yellorite ore, which is then pulverized into the dust and then cooked into the ingot. So let's start off by making a 3x3x3 casing here, and this is, like I said, this is going to be the smallest one that you can make. And for the sake of explanation, you can see here that it's just the shell of it here. Now in the middle we need to have a fuel rod. The fuel rod is made, again, this middle one can be a yelloworium ingot. You have iron as well as graphite bars, so we're going to put that guy right there in the middle. So he's right there in the middle there, and the sun's setting. Right on top of that guy, we're going to need the reactor control rod. Now, inside of the fuel rod, this is where the fuel will be. In bigger examples, you can see right there in the middle, it's full of the yelloworium. But right on top of him, you need the reactor controller rod. As shown here, reactor casing, some redstone, graphite bar, and a yelloworium ingot. We're going to place him right there on top. Now, on the sides, what we need is a way to get the redstone flux out of there. Reactor power tap. This is what is going to be used to extract energy from the actual reactor. Now, we need to be able to put yelloworium into it. So we'll need the access port. Very simple recipe there, right there on the side. On this far side we're not going to need that, but I'll show you the reactor glass. This can fill similar to the tanks in Railcraft. It can be used for those side pieces, just reactor casing with glass around it. So we'll put him there. Now on the front side here, now this is just dependent. They don't all have to be on each individual side like that. The reactor controller rods need to be up on the top, but everything else can be on the front if you have a big enough, like this guy has a lot of surface space, and I'll show you that guy in a second. But we need to be able to actually access and control the reactor. That's where the controller comes in. Diamond, some yelloworium, redstone, and then the casings. And we'll put him there. And as you can see, now it becomes that multi-block structure. And if you click on it, you can click on the actual controller. You can see it has an interface for you to use. Now we're going to take yelloworium ingots, and we're going to go over here to the access port, and we're going to use this input here. Now the output is cyanide ingots. This is what is created after the yelloworium is burnt up or used up. And now that I click here, you can see I have one fuel rod. The status is offline. I have full fuel, no heat, no energy. If I activate this, you can see this starts to heat up, and power output starts to accrue. Yes, the energy buffer. Now this can hold a ton of energy, so you can just let this run and it'll go and do its own thing. In this version of the mod, it does not explode. That may change in future versions. But with the power tap, what we're going to do is extend this out a little bit. And you can see that the energy conduit's attached to that. And we'll put on a resonant energy cell, and up in the top you can see that it's starting to fill up. And it's no longer in the buffer. Once this is full and there's nowhere for it to go, the buffer will start to fill up again. As this gets depleted, it will use more of the ingots here. And you can see that it pretty much steadies out at 54.5 for this small of a setup. Now this is very nice to have early game. You want to get some redstone flux going, and you don't really have access to tesseracts or anything to send lava or fuel everywhere you need to go. Very easy to get going here. Now the sizes can vary, and you can see here a little bit bigger, 5 by 5 by 5. And in the middle, you can see that the actual fuel rod is full of yellorium. If I click here, output is 145 per tick. And I've used up a little bit, and I got some debris in there that I'll have to put another access port, or if I turn it to out, if I put a chest right in front of there, it will export it out into it. But it's got a little bit, this blue means that there's some cyanide in there. When there's enough, it'll start to make the ingots in the out section. Now, you can see that the heat is building up in there. What you can do is you can cool this. So you can put water in here. I think water is the worst thing to put in there just because it doesn't cool as efficiently as other things. Redstone, liquidized redstone is one of the better ones to put in there, and you just put it around the top and let it flow down, and it cools that. And what that'll do is it will bring down the heat and up the power outage, depending power output, depending on what you put in there as the coolant. But just want to give you a quick overview of getting started with big reactors. Stay tuned for some more tutorials in the future, and we'll get a little bit more intense with some of the big reactors and see what we can get going. I thank you for tuning in. I am Dave from the Kodo. If this was helpful for you, give me a thumbs up so other people can find these tutorials, and leave a comment if you have any suggestions or if you want to see any different builds or different setups of big reactors. Pay attention, watch my channel, and you'll see some more videos there. Like always, good luck and have fun.